we've known these negotiations have been ongoing, but no one knew exactly what they were up to until this leaked. And effectively, the text, if it were enacted, would roll back a lot of the re-regulation that followed the global financial crisis and basically handcuff us into the 1990s extreme deregulation model that we all recognize was the cause of the crisis. And the perverse nature of it is, of course, because of the extreme secrecy, you have the Obama administration in public working to re-regulate the Dodd-Frank bill and its regulations, but then behind closed doors in these negotiations in Geneva, sort of on the sidelines of the World Trade Organization, the US and the European Union, the leaked text shows, because they're brackets that say who has what proposal, are pushing amongst the most retrograde anti-regulation provisions. What they want to tear down is the regulatory structure that was strengthened after the global financial crisis. So there's a history to this agreement. At the World Trade Organization, everyone will remember the Doha round of negotiations. This is basically what happened after the big Seattle protests. There was going to be no WTO expansion. And then after 9/11 in Qatar, in Doha, there was a launch of something very similar to what all the countries rejected in Seattle. And that negotiation included major financial deregulation. And a lot of countries said no. And they said no to other parts of that Doha round. And as a result, and with a lot of citizen campaigning and protest around the world for over 10 years, the WTO expansion, the Doha round, never happened. Well, there was a coalition of the willing countries. They were the neoliberals. And they decided, well, if we can't get everyone to do it, why don't we just see if we can go over here on the side and start this financial deregulation agreement, and then maybe later we'll drag everyone else into it. So this is a subset, this TISA. And basically, this is the Chamber's agenda. This is tearing down all of these regulations. And they think, of course, it's going to be very profitable for them to operate, basically ripping off all of us consumers. But what this text shows is this is a proposal that only banksters can love. This is a proposal that's going to mean grandma loses her house, you basically have huge debt, and Wall Street makes out like bandits again. It cannot go into effect. And now that we see it, actually, it's going to have to be something everyone's fighting against. And it also gives us an indication, probably, of what the U.S. is up to in the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and also in the Transatlantic Free Trade Agreement, TAFTA. So this agreement, if you will, is just the latest example of why there should never be fast-track trade authority, because we now see what they do with it.